probably wondering what this guy is doing on your screen right now, talking about something with the title like Revolutionary New AI Technology or China Will Dominate the Future, something like that. The reason is because of ByteDance's DeerFlow. Now, ByteDance is the parent company of TikTok. We know this. This is a fact. And so DeerFlow is actually their new open source project that basically aims to provide deep research. Deep research has been a trend in AI development. We've seen OpenAI come out with their, I think it's like O1 reasoning model, something like that. And basically, all these types of reasoning models, their goal is to provide more complex, like cause and effect relationships between what is happening and what the AI is like giving you, why the AI thinks the way it does, right? And this was kind of started with DeepSeek because they were able to create a reasoning model for a very low price and with like basically nothing. It literally came out of a financial firm, right? And so that kind of scared everybody, like, oh, we gotta do these things. We gotta do these things, right? And then so other companies like Anthropic and OpenAI began incorporating this type of reasoning into their models in order to allow for this deep research. Now, what ByteDance's DeerFlow does is it takes that a step further. It combines traditional LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all that, and it adds other specific AI functions. Like a lot of you have probably heard of Perplexity, which is an AI search engine. It combines elements like that in order to provide a more sophisticated research experience. All right, so let's take a further dive into how this actually works. All right, so here you start, then you have your prompt, right? So the end goal of this system is to get to a final complete report where you have all your information, right? And so the system is really interesting because it uses a coordinator. Coordinator can decide to end it or not, but then the coordinator basically provides information on what they think should do what, right? And then so then it goes to a planner. And this system of AI agents is very innovative actually, because the planner goes to synthesize information and gives it to the reporter, which does some further synthesis, and then that can decide whether to end, right? But the planner also takes and receives human feedback, right? It receives human feedback, so then, as does the reporting and the research team, so then the human can actually manipulate all these and then produce a research report that is more desirable, right? So then the human feedback is actually plays a very critical role, because the human can tell, okay, we don't want any more of the report. It can also signal to the research team, to the planner, and the reporter, right? All these different agents. But I would say the core of this whole system is the research team, because then it communicates with the researcher and coder agents, and that's the only way that it sends it. That's the only way you can send and receive information from these things, right? So the coder, what that does is it finds out how to obtain the information, right? And so the coder finds out how to obtain the information, whether it be making code itself as described or finding some other mechanism, and then so it brings it back to the research team, and then the research team sends it to the researcher, right? And that researcher agent is able to find the data using what the coder provided, and then provide it back to the research team, who gives it back to the planner, which gives it to the reporter, which lets it end. Notably, the research team, the researcher, and the coder cannot make it end. So I think that's a really interesting system in which you have it primarily dictated by human feedback and like managerial agents, I would say, rather than the primary agents. So it's a nice division of work using agentic AI. And this structure actually isn't just innovated, it works. If you look at the research reports, examples that they have provided on their GitHub, it seems like this can actually have potential as a future tool for researchers in AI. And not just researchers, actually. It could get democratized to the general public because it's open source. And because of that, then it can have huge implications for people doing AI research in the future. So what does this actually mean for you? It just means that we have a cool new tool that allows us to do more research at a higher level, which I think is awesome. As for the geopolitical implications, I'm not going to get into that, but you can probably project what they are. Alright, so the takeaway is that ByteDance's technology is super innovative, and it could be used for us normal people in the future to create reports. I actually just finished experimenting with it, and I think the quality of reports is something that cannot be understated for sure, definitely. Well, that's kind of it for this one. Drop a like, I guess. Is that what people say? I think it might be what people say. And so drop a like. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.